Hi guys, so today I'll be talking about something new to my page. If you don't like it, I don't care. Leave all the hate comments you want. I'll be ranking all of Marilyn Manson's albums, and if you don't like it, I don't care. It's my opinion. Number 12. The Pale Emperor. Starting off with the most disappointing album for me. I only like 2 songs on this album and it felt like such a chore to listen to all the way through for this video. Number 11. High End of Low. This album is literally so close to being good, but it's like every single song is missing something. It's so disappointing because I can say this album is good, but I can't like it. Number 10. Heaven Upside Down. This album has some really good songs like Satan and Kill For Me as well as Blood Honey, but like it was for the other 2, I felt incredibly bored listening to it. I know a lot of fans like it, but it's not for me. Number 9. Born Villain has so much potential and it follows through with it for the most part. Good album, and the cover of You're So Vain is great. His covers have always been amazing. There's never once been a miss. He eats them every single time. Period.
Hey,
Number 8. Eat Me Drink Me. This album is going toward the middle of the list because while most people hate this album and say it's the worst, I can accept it for what it is. It's not the worst album, but it's not the best either. It's just okay. Has some good songs, but it's not that memorable for me. Number 7. We Are Chaos. The best Marilyn Manson album in recent years. The best note to leave on before a 4-year-long break. I originally hated this album, but when I listened to it again for this video, I liked it way more. It was going to be the very last spot at first. I definitely am a 90s Manson supremacist, as you'll see later on in the video. So of course I had a lot of expectations for this, and maybe that's why I didn't like it at first. It's good, but you shouldn't expect it to be as good as his peak albums. Number 6. Golden Age of Grotesque. Great album. I don't really like the babbling stuff on here though. I get why he did it. I just don't like it. The burlesque concept is great, but the songs just aren't for me. Number 5. Smells Like Children. With this album, I think Manson wanted to make the trippiest album he possibly could, and he did that. His biggest cover and definitely his biggest song came from this album. Some people argue that Sweet Dreams is just him trying to be as edgy as possible, but is that really a bad thing? Annie Lennox has also said that his version of the song is how she wanted the song to be originally, but she wasn't allowed to do that. Speaking of edginess, I also heard people saying that his cover of Patti Smith's album is just him, again, trying to be edgy and offensive. But really, if you actually knew the message of the song, you'd get it. I do not care what anyone has to say about this album. I love it. I don't care what your opinion is. It's a great album. I was going to put this at second last at first, became there's a lot of just remixes and random audios on here, and there's also 3 covers. But his covers are always made to be completely different from the original song, and he really knows how to make them his own. Number 4. Hollywood. Hollywood is such a great album. Everything about it is so intricate and detailed. It just deserves this spot on the list. It was probably one of my least favorite albums out of his discography when I first became a fan, but it really grew on me. Number 3. Mechanical Animals. Mechanical Animals and Hollywood are basically tied on this list. However, I put Mechanical Animals above Hollywood for a reason. This album was Marilyn Manson testing the waters for Hollywood. Before this, he had never made an album so personal, and despite all the retailers refusing to carry the album or promote it, it still hit number 1 on the charts. It's a great album with a great story. Number 2. Portrait of an American Family. This album is by far my favorite Marilyn Manson album, but it is not the number 1 spot because the number 1 spot is a literal work of art. Portrait of an American Family is so good. I love the grittiness and the authenticity of this. Albums like this cannot be recreated. Number 1. Antichrist Superstar. I know you saw this coming. You all saw this coming. This album is a masterpiece. He will never be able to outdo this, and nobody will ever be able to recreate the vibe alone of this album.
My vocals are taped, I don't sing. Come on.